extremely windy this morning, so apologies if you can't really hear us.
I'm a little bit nervous about this one because the weather is not looking great. So we've made it back to the car and it was so windy. Hi everyone and welcome to our channel. We are Hannah and Jonny, also known as Finding Our Adventure. In 2020 we converted our Ford Transit to live in full time. Since then, we've been on an endless adventure with our two cats, Tia and Skye, exploring, living and working in our tiny home. Join us each week for a new episode of Finding Our Adventure.
Good morning everybody and welcome to this week's episode of Finding Our Adventure. We are starting off today in the capital of the Faroe Islands in Tórshavn, and we are about to jump on a ferry to the island of Suðuroy, which is the biggest southern island, I think it is. It's quite far south and all the locals have said fingers crossed it's not too rocky on the boat today, but it's looking pretty stormy. It's pretty wet this morning and there's quite strong winds, so I think we're going to have a pretty rough ride, but we've got to queue up now because we've got a little bit of a wait till we get on the ferry.
Good morning. I'm a little bit nervous about this one because the weather is not looking great. And the lady at the desk as well of the hotel when we checked out was like, oh yeah, you know, there's 4 journeys a day and at least one of them's rough. So knowing our luck, we're going to get that one.
We've just made it onto the ferry and the crossing is about 2 hours and we've got a seat near the front and it seems pretty quiet so far, so hopefully the crossing is nice and smooth. The weather has calmed down a little bit, which is really good, so it should be pretty straightforward and nice and easy.
We've just got off the ferry and we have made it to the island of Suðuroy, and the ferry journey crossing wasn't actually that bad. After we were expecting it to be quite bad with the rain and the wind, the crossing was pretty good. So yeah, we've now made it to the island. We're now just heading to our B&B, which we're going to be staying at for the next couple of nights, and we are very excited to explore the island. We've seen lots of beautiful pictures of this place and we can't wait to get out and see how beautiful this island is. We've just arrived at our accommodation that we're going to be staying for the next couple of nights, and we're staying at Brim BNB, and basically you get a room with a bathroom as well, and they have a lovely little cozy kind of cafe area where you can have breakfast. So that's where we're going to be heading tomorrow morning, but I'll quickly show you around the room because it is absolutely beautiful. So we've got a lovely big double bed just here, and the style in here is very like minimalist, kind of Scandi inspired. There's beautiful chairs, like low hanging lights. We've also got a little desk kind of getting ready area over here, and we also have a door that goes back out onto the balcony with beautiful views outside. And then I'll quickly show you the bathroom. So you come on through here, there's a little slidey door for privacy, and you've got a nice big rainfall shower, toilet and sink, and also a hairdryer and everything you need really. So yeah, excited to stay here for the next couple of nights. So this is the main dining area of the B&B, so we'll be having breakfast tomorrow, and the best feature about this room is the floor to ceiling windows with incredible views. We have left the B&B that we're staying at and we've decided to come out and do a little bit of exploring before it gets dark this evening, and our first stop is Aquaberg Lighthouse, which is on the very southern tip of the island of Suðuroy. and it's just behind me here. The cliffs here are insane. They are so high up, and the drive up here was just up like a steep winding country road, but it's definitely been worth it. And I think we can walk a little bit closer to it, but the wind is pretty strong, so I don't think we're going to get very close to the cliffs. It is very windy here, and there are cliffs just on this side of us, and there's so many sheep literally just grazing on almost vertical cliffs. It is insane. I wonder how many sheep unfortunately just slip and fall off, but they have got very steady hooves and they're able to balance themselves, which is very impressive, but we're not getting anywhere close to the cliffs.
So we've just made it to the lighthouse, and the weather must get pretty insane here because it's supported by all these metal cables all the way around, because the wind is really strong now, so I can't imagine what it's like in the middle of winter. It must be insane, and I wonder if any of the sheep get blown off the edge of the hills as well. But
So good morning. We have got breakfast this morning, and what I've gone for is like some bread with some traditional rhubarb jam. Got some salmon, which she mentioned. This is like a traditional sausage, which is quite salty. And I've got my drinks as well, and we've got a beautiful view this morning. It is quite moody and cloudy, but we are hoping we get maybe a weather window. What we've noticed on the Faroes is that it can be really moody one moment, but then if you just wait a little longer, you can get a really nice clear blue sky. So that is what we are hoping for today, and we're going to go and explore the rest of the island.
so we've had a lovely breakfast, and we love chatting to the owner of the bed and breakfast this morning, which was really nice. And now we've just started our hike. We are in the very north of the island now, and we're hiking to the cliffs where there is beautiful views and sea stacks, but it's extremely windy this morning, so apologies if you can't really hear us. But the cloud is blowing away a little bit. There has been a bit of sun as well, which is really nice, and we're going to go explore this area, and it should be a beautiful day. The summer months in the Faroe Islands are the busiest for tourism, and it's very quiet here now. There's nobody else on this trek of us or anything, and we're the only ones staying in our hotel as well, so it's really nice. We can basically enjoy it all to ourselves. We've just made it to the cliffs here. The wind is absolutely howling, but I don't know if you can see the big massive sea stacks behind us and the humongous cliffs. It's absolutely incredible up here. And just behind me, over that way, if you can see it, there's a massive cliff bit coming off the edge, and there's a bridge on top that you can walk up to. I'm not sure if we're going to do it today because of the wind, but it looks absolutely amazing here. I'm just walking up a bit higher up the other side now. Hannah's down by the stack. We're going to try and get a really cool shot because the angle and the elevation up here means that we can get the stack surrounded by the ocean and should get a really cool photo. We've just hiked up a little bit further up the other side to where the bridge is, but we're not actually going to go up any higher because it is very windy, as I said earlier. So we're going to head back to the car now, and we've got plenty of other places on the island that we want to explore as well. The sun has just come out, and I think this is the first time we've seen the sun in a couple of days, and it's really nice. And we're just enjoying our walk back down from the cliffs now. And yeah, it's just really beautiful around here.
So peaceful. So pretty much one of the main farming practices here on the island is sheep farming. So you will see a lot of sheep on all of the islands, and they are so beautiful. The different types of sheep, there are like Faroese sheep, there's also Scottish blackface, and there's a few like mixes, and their hair is incredible. It's got like this beautiful kind of like frizzy curl to it, and they look really like fluffy, and they're beautiful. Some of them have got huge horns, and come in all sorts of different colours, white, brown, black, and they're definitely a highlight when you come and visit. We were learning a lot about sheep farming when we had the dinner with Harriet and John, because they're sheep farmers. Yeah, in the last week's episode, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. And at the moment, this time of year, they're cutting all the grass to make sure that it can be dried, and then it's used for winter for the sheep, so that they can have lots of food to eat, because it's pretty rough here in the winter, and none of the grass can grow because there's very limited sunlight. So yeah, when we're driving around, see a lot of grass being cut, and different methods of drying the grass as well, which is very interesting to see. So we have decided to go on a little hike, and the hike here starts just through a woodland and just north of the hospital in the main city, and we are going through some trees, which is very rare here on the Faroes. There are hardly any trees at all, but the trees are kind of like concentrated in little patches. I don't know if they've been planted or if they're originally here, but yeah, it's very peaceful.
Floating, weightless, undersea, diving, conscious, like a dream. You and me.
We've just come around this corner of this massive cliff face, and it's absolutely beautiful around here. We've got dramatic cliffs going right into the ocean, and because we're by this cliff now, we're actually very sheltered, but the wind is so intense around the other side, and it's going to be a very difficult walk back, so we're going to be walking into the wind then.
Like a dream. You and me.
So we've made it back to the car, and it was so windy. The whole time we were just being literally like blown away. Luckily we had poles with us, so that kept us a bit more sturdy. But yeah, that was really hard work, especially coming back because the wind was just blowing at us the whole way back. So yeah, we're both feeling pretty wiped out now after that, but it was worth it. There was amazing views. It definitely was a great hike. We had good visibility. There was no fog or mist that came in, so that was a bonus. But yeah, now I think we're gonna go and see if the cafe's open and get some treats. So we have made it to Cafe Momo, and we have treated ourselves to, I've got pumpkin soup with bread and a green smoothie. Jonny has got a panini, which has got all sorts of delicious things in it, melted cheese, meat, avocado, and yeah, we definitely deserve this after our hike. We have woken up to a very rainy and wet Suðuroy this morning. We are heading back on the ferry today, and we've had an amazing time here on the island. We wish we had more time to explore, but we have definitely made the most of it yesterday on that hike, and our bodies are definitely feeling it this morning. But if you enjoyed this episode, let us know in the comments what your favourite bit was. We've got some more episodes coming up from the Faroe Islands, and we have got a previous episode as well, so check that out if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so you can get notified for our future videos, and we will see you in the next one.